No, there's some stuff that you were mentioning about like some stocks that you are like looking forward to.
Oh, so Fontana, IPCL, Trans Jamaican Highway. There are a couple others. Wisynco. Those are some of them. Those are some of them.
You want to go
Tell me
into
about
why?
Fontana. Why you
No,
like
he spoke
Fontana?
about Fontana last time though. So I'd like to hear.
Yeah, but have things changed? Because the Portmore branches were open now. I actually haven't looked at Fontana in the past maybe 3 months or so. So I'm not sure what their earnings are like now. But what do you think, Julian?
Bro, Fontana has a very powerful moat. They have a very powerful moat. So let me go through it again. So Fontana is a part of our infrastructure in that there are many persons who go to Fontana as an experience. So it's experiential, right? So they have a baseline in terms of traffic. That's what counts. Number two, the location footprint is very important because they're always at a major intersection. And not only at a major intersection, but at a major intersection in a high traffic area and near areas that have high wallet share. So Barbican is at the foot of Jack's Hill. Waterloo is self-explanatory. A lot of persons don't understand Portmore, but what I'll say is that the Portmore location is walking distance from Sovereign Village in Portmore, and that strip along Silverstone is actually where a lot of the money in Portmore is spent. And Portmore has a negative, it has a negative perception, but when we look at the numbers, it has a very high concentration of persons who are middle class in terms of earning. And what we've seen even recently is that many of the smaller pharmacies in Portmore have started to wind down operations. So there's pharmacy consolidation where the smaller pharmacies are dropping out because the larger pharmacies are consolidating and taking up market share. And some of those forces are attributed to Fontana. So, according to management, not Julian or Dr. Do, the lion's share of revenue and profitability is actually from the pharmacy, not necessarily retail. It's just that retail keeps people inside, which creates a loop. So these factors combined form a very unique moat. There aren't many businesses in Jamaica that can list and satisfy all three conditions. Also, the management is not, they're not in discipline when it comes to managing capital. Quite a few times the company has had more cash than debt, and the balance sheet is not highly levered, meaning that the debt to equity is not at an alarming level. So the company is borrowing because they want to, not because they have to. And that's advantageous in times like now when interest rates are on the upswing. So what you find is that many other companies that are buckling on the higher interest rates, that's not the case for Fontana. So there are many other factors, but those are just a few where I think that it has a strong moat. It's a misunderstood business, but just follow the parking lot. Parking lot is always full.
Do you go there a lot?
Not necessarily, but I don't need to. Even if I
Oh,
did,
I
I
was at
wouldn't move the
Fontana
revenue.
today. No, I was
Pardon
literally
me?
at Fontana today.
By
I
yourself,
just got
Dan, or
I just got some cough syrup. But you're right. Like
oh,
once you're in there, you just kind of start spending.
Yo, Theon,
Yeah.
when those
so
numbers
Julian,
drop,
I
when
want
the
to go there.
December numbers drop in February, we'll talk.
Yeah, because last year, between October, November, and it's so funny being a doctor because you can track certain like illnesses. Because in that December
Oh, you
period, a
froze
lot of
again,
people got.
Dan.
Oh, can you hear me? Let
Yeah.
me know when I unfreeze. Oh, I was saying it's so funny being a doctor because you can track a lot of those things like illnesses. So, flu season is now, so that this is January period, but it also started end of December or within December. A lot of gastro and GI stuff were in December as well. There's this stomach bug that was going around. right? And I would prescribe, probiotics like Enterogermina and so on to my patients. No, there's none. There's almost no. I've been calling around different pharmacies. There is none, and I know that sell off from last year, from December, right? So it's fun. You can track a lot of the illnesses, and you can know when Fontana could probably make some money. I remember I went in there today and I saw they had the empty boxes of histotussine, which is a cough medicine, and I was just like, yo, why are the empty boxes there? And there's a sign saying, just go to pick up the empty box and go to the cashier and so on. And I was wondering, are people stealing that? Was it in that high demand? And there was a point where you'd see a lot of cough syrups gone last quarter. You'd see a lot of cough syrups gone from the shelves. Yeah, flu season was fully active. So yeah, that's all I'll say
Yeah,
about Fontana. And I'd
yeah,
love to
yeah.
see the numbers when they drop. Love to see the
When
numbers
was it the
come
branch
February.
open?
I think it
Portmore,
was November.
November, and the quarter is when you said?
It would be the December quarter, which is there 9 months, I think.
Oh, okay, October. So you said
October, November, December. Yeah.
okay.
No, 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 no. It would be their half year because their financial year ends in June.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, their financial year ends in June. Yeah.
Okay. Any other? So which other one? I think you said um
He said
Apex.
IPCL. Yeah.
Oh, what you like about Apex? What's going on now?
Where should I start? You guys are the experts. You should be talking.
We're doctors, not
Oh
radiologists.
no,
Or
We're
man.
all
radiographers. Sorry.
doctors. We're all
We're
When I
doctors.
all
mean,
doctors.
man, and I have the data and want me talk. It's like the man them who have the answer to the quiz and say, boy, yo, the test hard enough, Jano. You know what to do. You get 83 and him get 93 and but Jano. And then when prize I give up, yo, 83 you get? Jano we get 93. Anyway, so so Apex, another business with a great great moat. Um, so the major drivers have a lot to do with demographics. So what I find is that the top 10 killers of Jamaicans are actually non-communicable diseases. So heart condition, high
Mm-hmm.
blood pressure, cancer, diabetes, etc. What we find is that these conditions, what they have in common, is the need for scans. Additionally, we have an issue with road safety. That's also a driver of scans. And given
Very
that
true.
Apex is diversifying its scanning offerings, more persons can do mammograms.
Oh
So,
yeah, I think
Yeah,
they never used to offer
that's new.
mammograms before, which I
right,
saw was a big opportunity. 'Cause if you
yes,
look at it,
which is a new offer,
um,
yes,
our population is does have like a high risk of breast cancer. So we have a lot of patients who have breast
Mm-hmm.
cancer. So if you're doing your mammograms, and the thing is, your mammograms are recurring revenue.
right.
Serious.
The other
Many
thing
of
I
the
think could
scans
have
are,
been
are recurring revenue, actually.
another thing I think could be good for them is that they could set up some sort of like maybe payment plan or some bundle thing where if I'm like say I was someone and I'm doing a mammogram, I would want to like kind of do it the same place because if they can compare the previous scan, so it would make sense that you're going to the same place consistently. So you could maybe set up some
Mm-hmm.
sort of package or something where you're like, okay, I'm going to consistently come here, and then Apex can give you a discount to help like retain a lot of customers.
True.
Well, what I found in Preston is that what I found interesting was that when some of the machines were down during the previous quarter, Apex managed to send their customers to other Apex locations which they went to minimize revenue loss.
Yeah,
And that's a,
Elite. I know Elite
yeah,
was trying that too.
yeah, but Elite doesn't seem to be managing their machine failure as well as
As
Apex.
Apex, that is true.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah,
they're
but
working on it. They're working on it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
boy,
definitely.
boy, Preston, they've been working on it for years. Here's the thing:
Yeah.
what you find is that Elite, or from my outsider observation, is that Elite is mostly your traditional pure play setup with just doctors in the practice. And yes, it's a business, but it's a practice that happens to be a business. Apex now is a better mix where Keisha is running the business of the practice and the doctors are focused on being doctors. So what you find is that that mix is feeding into the performance. So if
Mm,
there's a business issue, Keisha deals with it because she's on the business side dealing with the business issue. If there's a medical issue, the doctors can deal with the medical side because there's a medical issue. So that kind of linkage seems to be working. So Elite's problem seems to be managerial, not
mm,
financial. The financial is a result of what's happening or not working with management. So I think that's the main differentiator between the two. And I find that in our market, we don't pay enough attention to management. We talk about companies like they run themselves, they don't.
true.
So, for example, NCB losing Patrick Hilton and all of those guys at the same time, that's material. I hear
Yeah.
some people
Even
talking, what is
Steven Good.
NCB? I'm like, huh? Yeah, Steven, yeah. I'm like,
He's good.
these were
Yeah.
the guys pressing the buttons, what do you mean?
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
I don't know what NCB is going to do next because
So they wanted the APO, recapitalize the business.
you can't throw money at poor management. But the thing is, we don't even know if management is poor or not. That's the key.
Yeah. Who is management now?
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause weren't they doing some shift arounds and stuff?
Yeah, several.
Yeah.
Several.
After the
People get
five
laid off.
people,
Several.
they were.
Several,
Yeah.
man, several. And it's so weird to me. We intuitively understand talent as it relates to sports, but not in business. So if a
Mm,
big baller come off our side, it's like, oh my god, the side mash up now. But in business, it's just like, oh, you mean the business is the business, and they've always done. I'm like, okay, so because our side used to score seven goals per season last year, it mean them going to do the same thing now. Like how that work? Especially when there's a change in the players. Like, listen to what he's saying. Don't
yeah.
make no sense.
Yeah. Them man they build the business for
Yeah,
real.
they
Yeah.
are they are the ones scoring goals. Businesses make money when management score goals.
Yeah.
So if management is changing, they may or may not score the same amount of goals because different management. You can't shrug that off. And I find that we do it a lot when we're talking
Mm-hmm.
about the local market. I don't understand it. Companies don't make money on their own. It's management. And we'll talk more about board than management. The board works with management, but the board most times is not in the business every day.
Yeah.
So why pay more attention to the board than management? It's so weird to me.
Agreed. Yeah. Agreed. Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. Well, all I'd say, I'm still looking at like remember we were talking about stocks that you may have like on your watch list or not necessarily on your watch list, but you just occasionally you read a little article on them. Because as much as I do agree that Elite has been facing this issue for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
they if you look through like the reports, management is actually doing like the same thing that you mentioned that Apex did, where okay when the machine went down they were shunting traffic and stuff. Elite has also been like changing out some of their machines, getting more new machines. They're also working with the people that repair their machines so that what they were saying was that some of the times when the machine went down, the part that they would need to fix it would have to be shipped down. So then there'd be
Mm-hmm.
that delay, and then there was also shipping delay. So you'd have that time where the machine is down for a long time just because you need this one part. Even though you have the money for the part, you have to wait a month or a few weeks to get the part. So they were saying that what they were working with was the repairman, so that some of the parts that would say frequently go down or have issues, they'd have them on hand so that they could fix it faster, so that there's less downtime. And what I would say
But I think a
also,
part of it was also some of the technicians that they needed to fix the stuff also were overseas as well.
yeah,
So
sometimes
it's
I think they
still.
said that they would have to. But what I'd say also is that if you even there was a quarter, I don't remember, it was last year or maybe the year before, where Elite actually didn't have any machine issues. And if you look at the profit for that single quarter, I think that shows what the business could be if they're able to sort out these issues. And if you look at it too, the stock price, I think it's probably at the lowest it's been for a long, long, long time. Like it's, I think like $1.50 or something like that. So I'd say it still is one I'm looking at. So maybe it's
Okay.
not time. It could be 1 year from now. It could be 3 years from now. But I'm not discounting them, especially because if you look at it, what's his name? Stephen or Steve Gooden. He from NCB Cap Markets, or he was used to be at NCB Cap Markets. He bought a heavy stake in the company. I think he bought like a 10% stake, and I think he got a board seat or something, or maybe he was
Yeah,
on the
man.
board
I
before,
remember,
but he's now a part of the business. So
Yeah,
guess
man. I
we'll
remember,
see.
I'm a, I'm a, I'm a healthcare bull, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I also think that Elite has more upside than downside. But I was just saying that it's good that you highlighted management and the personalities. I remember Stephen being a part of it, but because Kevin is as well.
Mm.
But
Mm.
Kevin Donaldson, that was at Sagicor, no Roots. He's not at Roots, and he's still involved with the business. But what I also say is Keisha is a beast, you know. Keisha is still on many of JMMB subsidiaries boards. Um,
Mm.
she was their country head up to 2018. She has a lot of relationships. She's PNP's treasurer. Um, so she's a silent mover. She don't chat off her mouth. But when you Google Keisha and look at what she's done,
Mm-hmm.
she's really experienced as it relates to management, especially management of people and customers and getting teams to work and solving business issues because JMMB during her time there went through a lot of changes, a lot of transitions, and Keisha had to manage those transitions for the better part of 20 years. So she would really be integrating a lot of that skill into Apex's daily op, management of daily operations because if you talk to Apex staff, they're happy. They're like, wow, I love coming to work. I don't know if Elite staff love coming to work. I'm not saying they don't, but I'm telling you what Apex staff is saying.
Yo,
And
you better hope
happy staff is a
Apex doesn't
productivity driver.
lose. You better
Which
hope
one?
Apex doesn't lose Keisha. So let me say that's something you'd be looking forward. You'd be looking for if you say resignation. Be like,
Yeah, so
whoa.
like I definitely say Keisha leaving Apex is material. I wouldn't say it would sink the business, but it definitely would be an issue.
I think
Um,
she's top 10 though, right?
I'm not sure, you
possibly,
I
know.
think
possibly,
she is
I don't know
owner and
about that.
operator.
Maybe
I'll check that. Hold on.
I
she
remember
would have
Dr.
to. Maybe it's
Bridgewater
a
being.
I think,
Bridgewater is,
But I
yeah,
don't
I
remember
think
if she's a
Keisha
partner.
is. Yeah, I'll look it up in the
unless
meantime.
Keisha owns Quad G Limited or so on. I'm not seeing her name now in the top 10. Caroline
Oh,
McDonough is number one. And yeah, there are some companies, holding companies here, but I'm not seeing Keisha's name. So yeah.
She probably just doesn't hold it in her name. But
Yeah.
yeah, man, Keisha is a powerhouse, man. She just not she's not a Keith. You're not gonna hear her mouth every minute and oh this that happening. Da, 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 da. No. But yeah, she's very instrumental to this day. Um, so yeah, she has a lot of strong relationships. So it was no coincidence that Apex had JMB as a broker. You know.
Mm.
I guess I would look
Oh
for something
yeah.
that would be nice to look for is if she was a heavy owner of the business, I think she'd be less likely to leave. Quad G isn't her thing. Quad G is
What
related to a
I'd
guy,
say,
Gordon
Matty,
Bradshaw.
is if I was a betting man, I'd bet that she's in as a partner.
Mm.
I don't know definitively, but I would strongly bet that. And if she didn't start out as a partner, she's likely to be a partner to this point. Because think about it. Why I think JMB still have her on so many boards or subsidiaries to this day, even though she's not on the group board anymore or country head anymore of Jamaica. Just tell you what you need to know.
True.
Yeah,
Meaning
I guess
that she's very instrumental. So There's value there.
I love when management is both like a heavy owner of the company and is, helping to operate the company. So it
No,
kind of
without a
aligns my
doubt, man. Yeah,
interest
they
with
must
them.
stake. Yeah, they have
Yeah,
all
I
skin in the
love
game.
that. Like, and I love seeing them buy on the market too, like buying on the market with us. Love that, love that.
What I'd say, Preston, is what I watch closely as well is personality. So when they're giving interviews and the type of deals they do, you can see people's personality come out, and
Yeah.
that helps you to assess risk. So you can tell if management is aligned with shareholders just by that, like them personality. So is this guy greedy? Is this guy structuring deals just to benefit himself, or taking money out of the business, or is this person churning more capital into the business to take it to the next level? All of those things you have to watch for that. So I like to watch personalities. So I find it weird when we're talking about investments and people don't know who the management is and they don't watch who is on the board. That stuff
Yeah, that's kind
affects.
of weird to me,
Yeah,
especially if
it
you
throw me off.
you watch shows like, and we spoke about it too, like
Succession.
Succession. Yeah,
Yeah.
like you
I don't watch it
realize
yet, you know. It
you
tough.
should. It's
Yeah,
so
it
good.
tough, it tough, it tough, it tough, it tough.
I didn't like it at first, but
Yeah.
bro, it got so good after a
Yeah.
while. But it really just shows business is
Yeah,
just
man, it's
people's
critical, man.
decisions. Yeah, it's
Business is
people's
people. It's
decision.
about people, you know.
It's really about people, and a
Yeah.
lot of business decisions are made with much less thought into it as people would, think. Like sometimes you just don't like a youth, so you just, he bought, you just sink that, like,
Yo.
Yeah,
Oh
that
my
stuff happens
gosh.
every day, man.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I wish
Yeah.
people knew that, it's not
Yeah,
as,
it goes on
not
behind
ever,
the scenes, like you don't know what's
yeah,
going on sometimes.
exactly. Right? You have a
Yeah.
bridging that has a company that, could help your company. Let's talk to the bridging and say, yo, you selling a piece? Boom bang. And our deal is just like that. And you can see that from the management. Because we're talking about, if you look at some of the top 10, some of them are probably just friends. Some of them are bridgings, right? And get them bridgings to invest in the company and so on. Not a bad thing, right? But there could be business synergies there and so on. So knowing the management is pretty crucial indeed.
It
Pretty
really
crucial,
is. It really is.
right?
Trust me. And we have a bad habit of thinking, oh, because somebody is not popular, because I've never heard of them. So I'm like,
Those of
what?
them post up on Twitter, those of them drive a Porsche, had a Louis V belt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we see the correlation that Louis V belts have now. So maybe not having a Louis V belt is, a sign of something wrong.
Oh, you choose violence today, Julian. Dr. Doom.
I mean,
Dr. Doom.
the facts are out. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
One more. So I think you could go through maybe one more. So you said Fontana, Apex, anymore?
yeah. I said Fontana. I said Apex. I said Trans Jamaican Highway. I said
Wisinko.
I said Wisinko.
Oh, so
Um, by the way, what you guys think about what's happening with Seprod?
takeover bit
Yeah,
or well, I think it's nice. Like I think it's going to send a positive I guess market sentiment that hey, they actually want to increase their stake. Like yeah, the percentage may not be a lot, but if you look at it, if they get it at the price that they stated, that's like $1 billion they're spending.
Wait,
I
sorry.
think.
What were we talking about, Seprod?
yeah.
Oh, we should actually say yeah. So the people that don't know, on
Sorry, I
Friday.
just froze, so I didn't see, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I was saying on Friday, the which day is that? The 19th. A takeover bid circular came out for the company Seprod. So essentially, the JSE rules say that so control is defined as 50% or over of a company. Before Seprod, the largest shareholder in Seprod was like I think it's Muscle Investments, and they were at like 49%. They were always below that controlling takeover. They bought, I think it was like 1,000 or 2,000 shares to reach that 50%. And so by JSE's rules, Jamaica Stock Exchange's rules, you have to issue a takeover bid. And essentially, you don't necessarily have to take over the whole company. So they're not trying to delist the company. So they're not going for over 80%. They're still within that. I think they're buying just like 1.5 to 2%. They're issuing, they're saying, hey, we are willing to buy up to this amount of shares at I think $78 or so. So essentially they're just saying, yo, we're going to buy more heavily into the company. We are going to be the controlling, we're going to have a majority stake in this company that we were always had the opportunity to, but now we're saying, hey, this is time. Like I think it's interesting because when I was looking at it, in the offer document, you meant that they mentioned last year. I didn't even remember this. Last year, I think September, they got approval to issue more shares at their general meeting. I think it was maybe 260 or 270 million shares they can issue if when they want. And then when they were asked about it, I think they said, oh, that they want to have that option open for, even though like, okay, as a company, the balance sheet is very strong. They want to have that option open. So if whether or not they get like a deal or some sort of acquisition or something that they need the capital for, that they may want to do some equity financing for that deal, they want to have that option. So I found it interesting because then I was like, they're buying these shares now at 70. If they say they get through the offer, they get the whatever shares, $1 billion, they buy it at 78. I found it interesting because if they were to do an APO and then say the APOs are usually below the market price. So right now, I think Seprod is like what 80, 85 or something. So say they say, okay, to encourage investors, we're gonna APO at like $60 or $70. Why would you buy these shares at the 78 where Mossen could just participate, I guess, in the APO? So I found that interesting because then I'm like, why not just, is that they're going to do a rights issue and then they want to increase their stake so that they'll have more rights to buy into the rights issue? I don't know. That was me speculating though, but I don't know what you
I
think
mean, it's
about it,
not a,
guys.
it's not a bad line of sight, because why would you spend almost $1 billion now only to undercut yourself in an APO later? Um, I and they have majority stake, that's control, so they have, you know, most of the say in the matter whether they do an APO or rights issue. I doubt they would want themselves to be diluted after just spending $1 billion cash. So rights issue possibly, if they really do want to raise some money. I think I would lean way more towards a rights issue that they would do over the APO. Um, yeah, that's just me.
Yeah, what you thoughts
Well,
about it, Julian?
I'm still digesting it because again, it's the personalities of management. I know that most time doesn't do business all the time just for financial, just based on things that are totally financially motivated.
True.
So yeah, I'm still I'm still assessing it. I really don't know. I'm not afraid to say I don't know. Kind of fresh now, and I've been busy because that came out like Friday
Yeah, two
Yeah,
or
days ago.
Sunday.
I just read it
Yeah,
today.
yeah. Yeah, there's a
yeah.
lot of moving parts, but I think it's a setup
Yeah.
to something else.
Hmm.
I definitely don't think that it's just a standalone transaction. I highly doubt that.
Yeah,
Hmm.
agreed. Excited for 2024.
Yeah,
Mm.
like the market, market hot,
A
starting off
lot's going on
nice.
right now. A lot is going on
Same
with a
time,
lot
I
of
think
companies.
MFS, the board approved that the conversion of the equity
Some
raise that they
debt.
say they're interested into like a rights issue and some possible conversion of debt to equity, and then they're gonna announce a shareholder meeting, Wigton declaring a dividend, which I think is interesting because if you look at Wigton's price movement so far this year, it's
Hmm.
gearing up. So I'm definitely interested in, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think we had a good talk today.
I agree. I agree. Thank you so much for coming on, as always, Doctor Doom.
Yeah,
Big up
hopefully it won't be
yourself.
the last time.
Nah, no, no, no. We're just talking about rights issues and APOs. I hope one day you actually we come on and we talk about it
Yeah,
in detail.
guys, let us know. Would you like us to talk about rights issue versus APOs with Dr. Doom?
Let us know in the comments below.
Yo, leave a
Subscribe
like.
if you are new. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And if you're for rights issue, say rights issue in the comments. If you're for APO, say APO in the comments.
Yeah, troublemaker, you know.
I love to stir the pot, bro. Always. But thanks again, Julian.
All right.
Yeah, this is the Limitless Podcast. Limitless out.